Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to live action here at the USC Aiken's Pacer Pit. My name is Noel Mays, and I'm joined here by Mr. Dave Stone for live action here at the Pacer Pit as your USC Aiken Pacers take on the traveling Catawba team. We saw where the women team fell by a goal in extra time that granted them the win. However, the boys will seem to turn that game around or turn that result around for their faith as their search for their first win here at the Pacer Pit continues. And Catawba to get us on the way, spreading the ball along their backline. Missouri giving a little bit of chase.
Pleasant good afternoon to everybody. This is Dave Stone talking. Wonderful afternoon, isn't it, Mr. Mays?
Splendid afternoon. It's definitely not too hot. It's a lot better than what we encountered for the girls' game a few days ago. That was very much heated, where we were all here drenched in sweat.
So true, so true. Just a bit of history. As we look back on how the USCA Pacers did in the last game, where they won 1-0. Wonderful result for USCA, seeing that it was an away game, keeping a clean sheet and so forth.
Yeah, that definitely was brilliant to get those 3 points. Beautiful nutmeg there. And Neil cuts inside, but the ball will be played out. And the goalkeeper will ensure that that ball doesn't go out.
Excellent start by the Pacers.
And nutmeg there in the middle of the park. One would still think that Andre Simmons is here playing for USC Aiken.
He would have loved that one. He would have loved that one.
Rijkaard trying to take up the mantle.
USCA is starting to press higher than usual.
Yeah, trying not to let Catawba really escape and venture out from their defensive third. Catawba seems to be very comfortable though composing the ball. It's just that final touch or that final pass into the defensive third of USC Aiken that they haven't seemed to haven't gotten right so far. Neil with the pressure on the number 28 on the far side, not letting him out, forcing him back. Ball all the way to the goalkeeper, who will look up. He won't float it. Definitely out of options, forcing his back line up before launching it. Boxes under it. Second header is won by Catawba, but Killian will definitely get the third ball.
Catawba seems to be feeling out the game, making a few passes at the back. Not as comfortable as they might want to seem, but they're getting away with it so far.
Yeah,
There's a few close calls where a few interceptions could have been made with maybe a few extra inches.
yeah, USC Aiken and led by Coach Iko Fudgy. Normally, they would allow everyone but the goalkeeper to play with the ball comfortably. We saw there where the goalkeeper had the ball at his feet for a good 5 seconds. Normally, he would instruct the center forward to go forward. However, Missouri backed off. So it seems as if they're looking for that
Excellent
confirmation from Ike to press forward.
Excellent play out of the pressure just now by Catawba. Offside signal by the linesman. Close one there.
Yeah, we saw a beautiful pass being whipped in that was a little overhit, and the center forward was unable to latch onto it earlier, and then we saw that one connecting to its target. However, the person was in an illegal spot, and USC Aiken given the offside. Very long free kick taken there by the goalkeeper. And here we see a goalkeeper that will lead. Andre does well to pressure, will float it in, unable to beat the defender to get to Missouri. He'll try to break, which he does brilliantly. Catawba trying to play out of their defensive third on that far side, but definitely being kept a close watch of by someone in a white shirt. Beautiful turn there, passing Neil, but then running straight into trouble with Andre.
As mentioned earlier, Catawba seemed to be adamant in playing from the back. However, USCA is not allowing them any comfort at all with playing out from the back.
One would think it's a matter of time before their pockets are picked and USC Aiken would be able to lead a counter-attack. And Andre is over this ball. We know that he's very accurate. It seems to be something with the name Andre. One tends to be very accurate with set plays with that name. And he'll whip it in. The whistle is blown. Mm, I guess that's a little bit of commentator's jinx there, as that was not one of his better free kicks. Catawba will try to break, but Sammy does well to intercept. Tries to play the ball down the line, but he ran out of real estate. Throw into Catawba. Sammy there jogging into position. Ball tried to be played over, but Rijkaard will be there to intercept that pass. Ball, however, deflected out for a throw into Catawba again.
Wonderful start where pressing the ball is concerned by USCA. They seem to be in the right positions at the right time.
They are very organized defensively as they're attacking as a unit and not individually, making it a little bit of a nightmare for Catawba. Keeper will launch this one over the top, wars up under it, cushions the header down. Andre has it at his feet, looks up with a little bit of time on the ball, plays the ball down the line to Neil. Neil does well, tries to skip by his defender, but the ball will deflect off him and a corner kick will be given. First corner kick of the game goes to USC Aiken.
Excellent work there by Neil, taking a defender on, not giving him a chance to breathe at all.
Yeah, using his speed there, as he isn't the strongest of players, or he doesn't have much speed, but he managed to get by his defender by kicking into overdrive.
Ball here will be floating by Andre. Let's see if this one will be better than the latter.
Ball floated in, beautiful, and no one is under it. Foul eventually called. It will be a little bit difficult as USC Aiken doesn't have the tallest of players in their lineup. So the set plays will have to be more accurate than not.
That's true, and in comparison, Catawba has a lot of tall players, maybe over a few 6-foot players here.
Yeah, their backline, with the exception of the number 26, seems to all be over that 6-foot mark. Catawba trying to play it out. They're living life dangerously. One back. Here we see USC Aiken trying to break.
Seems to be an injury here to Rijkaard. He ran straight off the field, moving a bit gingerly.
And Rijkaard there playing to his advantage, hopped back onto the park before falling to the ground. And he does seem to be in a little bit of a discomfort there, Rijkaard. And he has his cleats off. One would think that he might need to be substituted. Smart play there by Rijkaard. Rather than letting his team play a man down, he went back on the field before having a seat. And Giuseppe seems to be making his way to the touchline to make his entrance.
Maybe he got stepped on. Maybe it was something off the ball. And we have a substitution here. Lineup USCA went ahead and got Giuseppe ready.
Yeah, and Giuseppe will be making his entrance.
A like for like substitution also, so there won't be any changes position-wise needed by the team.
Yeah, that gap definitely being able to fill very well. Ollie will win that header, plays it out of touch, throw into Catawba. Ball being spread across the field.
Floated beautifully out there. 1-on-1 he took Sammy on, but
and beautiful defensive tackle there by Killian. Catawba has it on top, but not the best pass picked out. Ball will definitely flow harmlessly to the goalkeeper.
Killian seems to be one of those players that always have an eye for where the ball will end up. always seem to be intercepting crucial plays.
Has a little bit of contain him, one would think. Beautiful
Excellent
tackle
tackle
there
there.
by Andre, but not being able to stop the pass. He did delay it, giving Sammy enough time to get into position to try and apply pressure early. And there we see the white shirts swarming the blue shirts. Owen Warsop does win the defensive header, and Killian tries to set the number 7. However, it's a little bit off. His pass wasn't as accurate. His attempted cross will be deflected out for a corner kick. First corner kick of the game for Catawba, as it was deflected off box.
Strange clearance there by Killian.
Yeah, I think he was trying to flick the ball on. However, the ball didn't bounce high enough for him, and rather than going behind him, it ended up going in front of him.
Corner kick to be taken by the number 2 of Catawba.
Yeah, let's see if the height advantage will be to their avail. Ball whipped in beautifully to the back post. Header won, but it will flow harmlessly over the goal post.
Goal kick here to be taken. This should trickle out for a throw-in. Not the best of goal kicks taken.
It has a very powerful goal kick, but that one not being as accurate. Warsop giving chase. Warsop. There we see the shout from his captain Missouri, instructing him not to foul the defender, and cleared eventually by Sammy, throwing to Catawba on this near side in front of the USC Aiken's bench. There we see the number 18 join in the fray to try and give some advantage. Long throw, goalkeeper comes, and the ball deflects, and in the back of the net it goes, and it's 1-0 to Catawba.
Goal coming straight from a long throw, and the 18 drifted. Seemed to be unseen by the USCA defenders, but it was hard to not see the number 18, as he's maybe by far the tallest person on the field.
And there we see the goalkeeper not coming with as much authority as he probably should have to punch that ball clear. Ball ended up in the back of the net. Giuseppe tries to turn, runs into trouble. And let's see how USC Aiken will react to this. Good pressure there applied by Neil. However, the ball is being able to play it out. Giuseppe does well, tries to beat his defender but gives the ball back to him. And Catawba trying to play the ball out, but not the most skillful at ball retention are some of the players. Ball thrown into Missouri. Missouri still has the ball at his feet, plays the ball back to box. And there we see the ball tried to be played off box, but it will go out to a throw-in for USC Aiken. Missouri back to box, box down the line to Giuseppe. Giuseppe looks up, now floats it over to Sammy. And missed time header there by Sammy, and Catawba will definitely be allowed to break. Good defensive work there by Neil to play the ball out of touch.
Wonderful recovery play there by Neil.
Yeah, recovering for his right back. And Missouri does well to come back and win that ball. There we see the speed of Missouri that we haven't really seen in a while. The number 18, not aware of how fast Jordan Missouri actually is. Thought he had the ball under his possession. Beautiful flick towards Daniel. Daniel plays the ball to Andre. Andre should float this one in.
Oh,
and
that's a wonderful effort
wonderful
there by
try.
Andre.
Brilliant shot there by Andre. If that had been on target, the goalkeeper would have not known anything about it, and he would not be able to stop that from going to the back of his net. However, the ball went the opposite side of the goal frame, and it's still 1-0 here at the Pacer Pit as Catawba leads USC Aiken by a goal to nil with just over 32 minutes to play in this contest.
Not a bad response by USCA. However, I would say maybe they went down against the run of play.
Yeah, that was definitely the first shot by Catawba. Ollie does well to turn, plays the ball to Killian. Not the best of control in the middle of the park. Definitely a foul there. And there we see the control of Killian letting him down in the middle of the park, as Catawba will definitely be able to make something off the set play and use their height advantage. I'm sure the number 18 will venture forward again to try and cause a little disruption in the back line of USC Aiken, as without a doubt he's the tallest person on the pitch, now being marked by Owen Warsop. Ball to be floated in, and
Oh,
that was a
that was
beautiful
another
ball
close
there
one
played
there.
in. And we now see that USC Aiken will definitely have a lot of difficulties here with those set plays that Catawba will have.
More communication is needed to quell these set plays by Catawba, as the height advantage is far superior to the USCA's.
There we see the goalkeeper with not a bad goal kick. Ball won by Killian. Played to Giuseppe. Giuseppe plays it to Neil. Neil tries to flick it on, but that was too short. Ball played over by Ollie. Intended target was Sammy. However, it was definitely overhit. And there we see Catawba. Ollie looks up, plays the ball to Andre. Andre plays the ball to Neil, and the ball being ricocheted there off Neil and the defender. Ball will eventually go to the goalkeeper, who will be in no rush to launch this forward.
That
And
should go for a throw in.
not sure what the goalkeeper was trying there. I think he just, rule of thumb is not to play the ball across the face of the goal if you do ensure it's accurate. That time it was definitely not detrimental. Missouri turns in the middle of the park, passes one, passes two, looks up, plays the ball back to Andre. Andre should give it to Killian. He does. Killian cuts in, and his control letting him down once more. And Catawba will break on this near side as they go down the line. Cuts inside on Andre, beats box as well. Eventually playing the ball to Killian. Unfair challenge, said the referee, against box. Free kick to Catawba, and the number 18 again venturing up for this set play. And here we see Ronaldo getting ready to go in, fresh from international duties. Ball whipped in, but the goalkeeper is under it. Miscommunication or no communication there between goalkeeper and player. Ball will be launched quickly to Missouri. Good goal kick there. And Missouri control will let him down. Catawba will have the ball in the middle of the park. Beautiful ball floated over to the far side. Number 2 will give chase, being accompanied by Sammy. Will not be able to bypass Sammy, and the ball will go out for a throw-in to Catawba on that far side in the defensive third of USC Aiken.
Again, they will go ahead with the long throw. Pretty sure they'll be aiming this at the number 18 once more.
Ball thrown in. Number
Another
18 under
header
it,
one.
wins it. Number 15 has it. Tries to skip past box, does well to shield him and escort the ball out for a goal kick to USC Aiken. And here we see Owen Warsop being ejected from this game, and Ronaldo will go into the game for a little more presence with height to contest with that number 18.
It's Strange change there by the USC, as I believe Wayne would offer more height during those long throws and those corner kicks.
And that one is a little hard to deal with, as it's more than likely that the partnership between Oli and Ronaldo is being kept. And a goal kick there after that strong challenge on Daniel, given to Catawba rather than the corner kick. And against this team, USC Aiken needs to just possess the ball a little bit more. Long goal kick taken there. Killian will win. Ball played to the number 23. Plays it back, intercepted by Andre, but unable to stay in touch. Ball goes for a throw-in, right on the halfway line. Ball thrown in, flicked on. Will should go out for a throw-in for USC Aiken. It does. Sammy should take this throw-in on the far side.
And if you're just joining us, we are a little bit over 25 minutes, and the scoreline reads 1-0 to Catawba. Goal scored by number 18, Andrew, on a throw-in.
And Catawba with a little spell of possession.
Yeah, they seem to be growing in confidence as the game goes by, Mr. Mays. What do you think?
They're definitely growing in confidence, going up by a goal to nil. And USC Aiken, the team that normally goes down, a goal would normally start pressuring. However, USC Aiken's shoulders have dropped just a little, and that has increased. And a beautiful save there by the man between the pipes. And offside, the flag definitely did not go up by the lines official. The sliding player did not actually make contact with the ball, and that might be the reason why. But that was a splendid save there by the goalkeeper to prevent the USC Aiken team from going down 2 goals. Killian does well. Played to Missouri. Missouri shall give chase. Still Missouri on that far side. Missouri does well to bypass his defender. Looks for an outlet. Plays the ball to Daniel. Daniel will slow the ball game down. Plays it to Box, who plays it to Missouri. He was definitely fast enough to keep it in. Missouri on that far side tries to whip the ball in. Ball will be played out or deflected for a throw-in. Daniel throws it. Box to Daniel. Back to Box. Box whips it in. Very dangerous ball there.
That could have gone anywhere.
Clearance there of the actual teammate of the centre back for Catawba, and goes for a corner kick. Could have deflected and went in the goal, one would say. Short corner to be taken by Missouri and Andre, or will it be floated in? Missouri will take it, gives the signal, runs up, whips it in. Beautiful corner, but not able to pass the first defender. Catawba will try to break here. Number 15 on this far side. Acres of space. Needs to play the ball into touch. He does. Ollie of composure there by Ollie. Ball floated. Wonderful ball floated, but Sammy will not let it get to the number 2. Wins the header just in time.
Excellent position played by Sammy, as I've seen him try that pass a few times. Switching the ball from right to left, hoping to catch Sammy off guard, but so far Sammy has been dealing with that switch very well. Header there, one by Daniel.
And USC Aiken here trying to float the ball over to Missouri. They need to start playing. Beautiful tackle there by Box, and the whistle actually went. So nothing there to me with that tackle by Box, as he definitely made contact with the ball. It didn't seem as if he actually went through the player, in winning that ball, but illegally done, says the referee, and his decision is definitely final. Beautiful tackle there by Killian. Giuseppe has time, looks up, and Giuseppe there sleeping on the ball,
Seemed to have
and
taken
Catawba
his
will
eye off the ball.
definitely come back. And there we see Killian picking his shin pads up. That's definitely a 220 or 2. And offside there called as the lines official flag goes up.
Goal kick here to be taken by Kenneth. We'll be looking to float this one here to the left side where USC seems to be trying to have an overload. And the second ball here won by Jordan Missouri.
And just a lack of confidence, one would think, here in the USC Aiken's team. And I've seen, and this referee's decisions are definitely not the best, as that definitely, if the first one could have been called as a foul, that one definitely shouldn't be. Hold on. I just farted. And free kick to be taken here, given the signal, the 2 to float it in, and a very wonderful ball floated in, and equally to it. And it's 2-0 here at the Pacer pit.
Again, we see where the set plays height advantage seems to be working tremendously against USC, as they haven't found any way to quell the difference in height or tall price to pay.
And here we see a goalkeeper change being ready to make, as there needs to be a little bit more presence by the goalkeeper with those aerial balls being floated in. But USC Aiken is definitely at a height disadvantage when those balls are floating in, and to be fair to Catawba, those balls are definitely being floated in very dangerously. USC Aiken needs to get the ball at their feet and just possess it a little, keep Catawba guessing and chasing. Well done. Ball to box, back to, and there we see USC Aiken again losing out. There we go. And to be fair to USC Aiken, I'm not sure why that foul was even given, because it definitely was not a foul. Well, through my eyes, from my perspective. However, as I said earlier, the decision made by the referee is final. Box will win. Beautiful work there by the number 7 to skip past Killian. And the referee blows his whistle yet again.
Third foul here against Killian, as he seems to can't do anything right in the referee's eyes.
And this referee definitely is not the best. He is very horrible with the calls that he is making so far against USC Aiken, as that one definitely was not a foul either. I'm not sure what the referee is seeing, but he's definitely seen through a different pair of eyes than everyone else is, as those 3 challenges definitely aren't foul. And a beautiful ball there, but this time Kenneth is definitely equal to it. Launches the ball over to this far side a little bit too high. That should bounce. It doesn't. Boxes under it. Does well. Giuseppe tries to shield the ball out, and that throw-in will go to USC Aiken. And here we see a goalkeeper change being made by Aiko Fuji.
A few changes here being signaled by Ike Ofoji as he have switched Neil to the right side, sent Jordan to the left, and Andre will be now the forward.
And Missouri definitely can't be offside. And beautiful nutmeg there by Missouri. Ball will go back to the goalkeeper. And USC Aiken turns around with the goalkeeper just keeping the ball at his feet, not being pressured. And this I've never seen yet by. And they're just giving the goalkeeper a little time, it seems, as they're resetting, shuffling around to find their positions and get their instructions from Aiko Fuji. Missouri will pressure. Ball will go out for a throw-in. And no foul there.
Not a foul,
And
referee.
this referee is definitely horrible, as that, I'm not sure how the high foot wasn't called there. Missouri will break on this far side. Still Missouri. And the ball will be played out. And I'm not sure what the referee is doing here, ladies and gentlemen, as his decision making is definitely horrible. His wages should definitely be cut for his performance. Missouri to take this corner kick. He had a beautiful one that didn't skip. This one definitely beats the first defender. Boxes under it, winds up, takes a shot, will not trouble the goalkeeper. And if you're just joining us, ladies and gentlemen, with just over 15 minutes remaining in this game, USC Aiken trails by 2-0 here at the Pacer Pit, as Catawba with 2 set plays resulting in 2 goals for the traveling team. Ball played out to the near side. Ball floated over. Ronaldo does well, controls it, plays it back to his goalkeeper, looks up, plays it back to Ronaldo, dribbles out, plays the ball to Box. Box plays the ball, and too hard there from Box. No real cushion there on the ball as he played it into Daniel. And Missouri will give chase. Number 18 is with him. And it seems as if the Catawba team is definitely louder than the USC Aiken team, as their appeal for that throw-in was very confident. One would think it actually was their throw-in. Beautiful play there, back to Box. Box will try to whip it in. Ball will stay in. Back to Missouri. Missouri's under it, floats it in, and it will be cleared. Foul should be given there, and that's the first time the referee has given a foul that should have been called. Well done there by USC Aiken. And Missouri, they're crowding Giuseppe a bit rather than giving the space there. I think he's just hungry and too desperate to get touches onto the ball. Ball played to Missouri, does well to get to the line. Missouri's under it, cuts it back. Still Missouri, takes a shot. And he needed to have passed that ball, ladies and gentlemen. But instead electing to go for goal. A little bit of selfishness there by Missouri. And there we see USC Aiken getting a little bit too desperate, trying to get back into this game. However, the Catawba team, I'm sure if they were to put the ball on the floor and just possess it for a little spell, it would result in easy goals flowing their way.
100% agree with you there, Mr. Mays, as Catawba is not the most comfortable defending. However, they haven't been put to defend much by USC as they've been showing a bit of they're not composed enough.
Catawba is definitely letting what they're good at work for them, while USC Aiken is trying to play Catawba's game. And there we see their defensive line is too comfortable as they're able to play passes, string passes between each other. If they were to be high pressed, I'm sure that they will be easily dispossessed. Daniel shouldn't be in a rush to play this ball, and he does try to play it, and there we see that desperation to get the ball forward, resulting in Catawba just coming right back at USC Aiken when all it needs, and beautiful play there by Catawba on the far side. Cuts in, reverse pass, ball floated in, and that's definitely a goal. And that was a beautiful build-up play by USC Aiken, by Catawba on that far side. And it's 3-0 here at the Pacer Pit. And let's see what the USC Aiken team will now do, as they were desperate at 2. One would want to think what they would be doing right now. Going down by 3-0, there is almost little to no hope, one would think. But if there is any fight in this USC Aiken team, they just need to keep their composure and try to get back into this game, score a goal. And here we see Billy entering the park.
Come on, Billy, let's go.
And Billy John to enter the fray.
USCA's have not yet expressed themselves at all. The moment they try to express themselves, they will see fruit from this game.
Well done there by Daniel. Cut the ball back. Just needs to give it to Killian. Killian needs to relax. They need to not be. And there we see that rush to go forward is resulting in those turnovers. Missouri's under it. Still Missouri. Missouri does well. Skips by 3. Plays the ball into Andre. Does well to turn. Got the ball lost under his feet. Well done there by Daniel. And foul call. And that was a very soft foul. It was a foul nonetheless, but not the strongest of foul. Definitely will not result in any caution or anything. Let's see what Andre will be able to do. If USC Aiken will be able to use the set plays to their advantage and get a goal.
Andre here to take this free kick.
And whip straight into a Catawba player. He wins the second ball, and header won again by Catawba. Andre is under it, looks up. Ball will be played out. Billy rushes, throws the ball into Andre. Plays the ball to Neil. And there we see no composure again by USC Aiken players. And yet again, Catawba is able to possess the ball in their back line. Ball tried to be taken down there by Giuseppe. Beautiful nutmeg there.
Lack of pace there by Keenan, as that was a wonderful ball played through by his teammate. That was 3-player versus Jordan just now. Very
Definitely
difficult position to come out of.
no foul there though,
Yes,
on Jordan,
definitely not a
Missouri.
foul.
Andre cuts the ball back. Still Andre on the ball. Plays the ball back to Killian. Plays the ball wide to Missouri. Missouri with acres of space. There we see the player trying to skip by Ronaldo. Definitely using his body there to show that he won't be passed that easily.
Wonderful defending there by Ronaldo.
Ollie looks up, plays the ball over to Neil. Beautiful pass as well. Neil is under it. Tries to bring it down. And it's a throw-in on the near to the corner flag there for USC Aiken. And in a game that USC Aiken is definitely not being outclassed, the score definitely does not reflect the score line.
Agreed there. As maybe they had 3 shots on target resulting in 3 goals.
Just about. But they have used their strength to their advantage, and USC Aiken not really up to the challenge when it comes to those aerial battles between Catawba and USC Aiken.
Goal kick here to be taken by Gianluca. Floated to the left side of the field.
And a heavy touch there by Giuseppe. And USC Aiken's touches are definitely letting them down here in this game. We know that this definitely will be a long throw. And let's see, with a different goalkeeper between the pipes, if it will make a difference. If he'll be able to come and punch and challenge that number 11, as well as Ronaldo being there, using his body there, and deflected twice. So we do see a little more of a presence. Giuseppe does well, comes out to challenge.
Throw in here to be taken by Carson. Another long throw.
Well done there by Box. Looks up, floats it. Missouri will be given the chance to run. Will he be able to get there first? No, he will not. And Missouri should have been off and running a long time ago to judge the flight of the ball to realize that it would have beaten the defender. And there we see another bad pass there by Missouri. Fatigue, mental fatigue is getting the better. And Billy John, I'm not sure why he didn't head the ball earlier. But the goalkeeper was aware of the danger and came off his line very quickly. Nice flick there by Andre. All he needs to protect himself there as well when he jumps. Go up with his arms and very physical to let the center forward feel his presence. Ball played to Ronaldo. There we see Ike signaling to Andre that he needs to go up top. But it's very hard to take a midfielder and put him up top and expect him to stay, especially when he's not touching the ball. The ball will be like a magnet. Beautiful 1-2 pass there between Neil and Billy. Ball played back to Giuseppe, but eventually losing out. Defender there electing to play the ball high rather than going back to his defender. Missouri is not quick enough to keep that one in.
We see the moment USCA starts to express themselves in terms of putting 4 or 5 passes together, they ended up in the box of Catawba.
Missouri definitely trying to do a little bit too much, and his players need to understand him as well and know that when Missouri has the ball, to give him space, try to isolate him and give him that space by himself, because when they with Missouri, he doesn't play well in tight spaces. He's a player that needs a little bit of isolation and a lot of real estate in which to explore, and that's how he'll be able to express himself. When he has the ball, the best thing to do is get to the box and wait for it to get to you, as he does have the ability to bypass the defenders on the line. However, his shot definitely isn't the best, so it's best to wait on that penalty spot and wait for the ball to get to you. Header one there. Billy's under it. Handball there called on Billy John.
As we draw close to the ending of the first half, we see where USC is losing 3-0. The result actually does not reflect the game that's being played here, as Catawba, in a nutshell, basically are very efficient in front of goal, especially where the set plays are concerned.
And
Did well to capitalize on all, if not majority, of the chances they created.
four set plays, 3 goals, and that definitely should not be allowed to bounce. And 2 of those, the referee practically gifted the Catawba team the free kicks. However, the third goal that Catawba did score was wonderfully built up on that far side before the tap-in was done on the right side of the box. Linesman electing to go to USC Aiken. Missouri, cuts in, and nobody is there to tap the ball in, and that's what we are talking about. Just get to the penalty spot when Missouri has the ball, and he'll definitely get the ball to you. Whether he wants to or not, he basically has no choice. The pass or the shot by Jordan Missouri will result in the ball going to the penalty spot. Space there being opened up. Ollie has Akers. Tries to play the ball into Andre. Loses out on it. And a smart foul there by Ollie, as that's a very smart professional foul, giving the ball away in the middle of the park and seeing that they're outnumbered, electing to play the ball and play the guy and not worry about playing the ball.
Got himself in trouble there, though.
Definitely a cautionable offense for the professional foul, but that professional foul might have disrupted that Catawba counter-attack to go 4 goals up here at the Pacer Pit. Ball floated over. And how is it that Catawba has 2 guys over there with Billy, and the second ball still falls to a Catawba player? I'm not sure, but USC Aiken's positioning has not been pretty good since the first 10 minutes of the game. That goal kind of got the better of USC Aiken, as they have dropped in confidence. Ball launched in, flicked on, Andre is under it. Missouri needed to get inside, didn't. Still Andre tries to float it in, and this goalkeeper has not yet been challenged either.
At all.
I'm wondering when we will see him in action, if we will even see him in action, as he runs down the clock
10,
before booting it
9,
high.
8, 7, 6, 5.
And we have
4,
reached halftime
3,
here, ladies and gentlemen, at the Pacer Pit.
1,
And
0.
Catawba will go into the second half by 3 goals up, with 3 goals to the good, and we will see whether or not USC Aiken will be able to come out in the second half and rally and come with a mental and physical game that will see them challenging the victory of Catawba here at the Pacer Pit. Until the next 45 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, This is Noel Mays and Dave Stone signing out, and we'll be right back with the live action here with just over 15 minutes.
Shout out to the McCallans and the champions out of Surrey, England, and shout out to McKeon and Kathleen Killian Walker out of Greenville, South Carolina.
And welcome back to live action here, ladies and gentlemen, at the Pacer Pit as we get off the mark with this second half action here at the Pacer Pit. USC Aiken to start. Here I'm joined with Mr. Dave Stone as USC Aiken trail by 3 goals to nil. They will try to dig in deep, very deep, to try to come out of this pit that they have dug for themselves. Ball thrown in, Sammy to pressure, no handball, they're called. We saw one called earlier, but Kellyan does well to keep it in. Billy, I'm not sure what Billy was thinking there. Got a little confused, it seems, and controlled the ball, then played the ball out. Neil does well.
I do believe USCA must have got a stern talking to there by their coach Ika Foji because it has been a horrendous display so far, Mr. Mays.
Horrendous would be a little bit harsh on USC Aiken as they haven't been playing bad. It's just that Catawba isn't the best of teams. The only thing that they need to do really is possess the ball against this team, put the ball on the floor, play the ball, play to their strengths. But instead, they went a goal down. They started chasing the game, trying to rush passes, and that resulted in two, and then three, a third goal being entered into the back of their net. Two of the goals might not have been, well, one of them definitely, that second goal they scored was not a foul in my eyes. However, the third goal, it's something of the 86 Maradona World Cup hands off God goal that he put in the back of the net with his hand before dribbling the entire field after that to tuck the ball in the back of the net.
Throw in
Billy.
here to be taken by Billy John.
Billy has it, looks up, looking for a person in white, tries to get the ball to Sammy, deflected out by the number 6, throwing to Billy a little further up the park. Billy throws it to Andre, back to Billy. Billy back to Andre again. Andre does well, turns wonderfully against his defender, shoots, but that will fly over the top of the crossbar. And there we see the first attempt to really challenge the goalkeeper between the pipes for Catawba in that shot from Andre.
Positive play there by Andre as he took this man marker on and got a shot off.
Turned and left him in his wake. Ball booted by the goalkeeper. Killian wins the ball. Very strong header there by Killian, but unable to keep his header under control as it flies out for a throw-in. And here we see a change as Neil is now playing up top. And another foul there called, or is it? Oh no, the throw-in is what was called. I'd be surprised there if and Billy throws the ball in. Beautiful play there by Andre. Neil has it at his feet. Still Neil. And Neil there not falling to his feet, which he probably should have done. Alejandro will boot that one out. Very strong challenge, but without Neil trying to, that's the thing that's very, it's a question, it's a very good question that players will pose to the officials. As when you're fouled, but the foul isn't the strongest of foul, do you go down and put on a little bit of a show to the referee, or do you try to stay on your feet? As not everyone is a Lionel Messi. We see where Cristiano Ronaldo will go down, and people will say that he dives, but he dives to protect himself most of the times, as he's a very skillful player. And very strong pass there back to Alejandro from Kylian. But Alejandro is definitely one of the most composed goalkeepers one will find. Neil does well to turn against his defender. Andre lets it run. Daniel plays the ball into Billy's path. Needs to whip it in, and Billy there taking too much time. Ball falls to Daniel. Daniel back to Andre. And Andre there challenged by the referee. Catawba will now try to break. Swarmed by white shirts. Definitely a foul there, as the foot was left out for the player to trip over by Andre. Free kick right on top of the arc of the center circle.
Yes, in your opinion, Mr. Mays, what do you think is the best route back for USCA in this game?
The best route back is to play your game, Mr. Stone, as you don't want to switch. Sometimes you'll switch tactics, but at the end of the day, you still want to play your game and stick to it, stick to your strengths, rather than trying to play the opposing team. And well done there by Neil. The ball was deflected and will be a throw-in. With a team like Catawba that isn't very versed with the ball on the floor, I'd say that USC Aiken just needs to be patient and string a few passes together, get them tiring, rather than playing this ping pong game that they have been playing so far. And the game will come to them, rather than rushing passes. And Ollie does beautiful there to come and win that challenge.
USCA needs to be challenging for every single ball being played. What is that, referee?
Daniel does well in the middle of the park, plays the ball out to Box. Box to Missouri, back to Box before the ball is played out of touch.
Good
And
attempt there.
very good attempt by USC Aiken. We see that they're trying to come into their own and play their ball game, rather than playing that ping pong ball they were playing before.
Honestly, they should be forced to put the ball on the ground and move it about, as the air balls will definitely not work against this Catawba team that has ample amount of height.
Yeah, this Catawba team just needs to not be given any time and space. As
Oh, that's if that was taken down by the Catawba striker there, that could have resulted in a goal if he got that shot on target, as the goalkeeper was out of position.
And here we see a little bit of change as Alejandro electing to play the ball out. Well done, and the pass by Billy not equally matched. Good intention though to get the ball into the space for Andre. And here we see a little bit of change. We can see slight developments into USC Aiken's game as they are building in confidence slowly but surely. One just wonders how long it will take them to find their strength. And ball played over the top there. Ball played into Daniel. Daniel turns, looks up. And this is what USC Aiken should have been doing from the get-go. Isolating players, taking players on, getting to the line, whipping the ball in, getting
Wonderful
corner
work there
kicks.
by Neil.
And this is what needs to be done, or what needed to be done. They did it in the first 5 to 10 minutes of the game, went down by a goal, and then their heads dropped. So it's just a lack of confidence here by USC Aiken, as they do have the ability that they can possess the ball. Andre with this out-swinging corner. Ball whipped into the near post. And we've both played for Iko Fudge. Someone needs to be, and Missouri's offside, someone needs to be on that near post.
Yes, that's
As that's
Mhm.
one of the set plays that we do have. You elect to go inside to the penalty box, or you can actually go to the near post. I've seen several balls whipped into the near post, and none of them, and no foul there called, as Missouri was definitely tugged. Time and time again, I'm not seeing a white shirt on that front post, and I've seen where the defender has been given a free header. And Alejandro does well to touch that one over. Very comfortable save.
Wonderful counterattack there by Catawba. As we might see this be the more direction the game will be going towards, where USA might be pushing up a bit, having to commit a few players, being down 3 goals to 0, and Catawba having a chance to attack on the counter attack, which they did maybe twice since the beginning of the second half.
Ball whipped in towards
Again,
that back
another
post.
header.
And
Ball cleared off the line there by Box.
goal kick there by Billy.
Again, we see where that height advantage is coming into play.
Free header there on the back post as well. It's a good thing that Box was on the goal post.
Regardless of a height advantage though, Mr. Mays, they should not be getting any form of free headers, as you don't need height to challenge for the ball. Wonderful pressing there. This is what USCA should be doing. Pressing Catawba, as the center backs of Catawba are not the most comfortable using their feet.
Well done there by Andre. Ball played into Sammy. Sammy let it run and escaping him just a little bit there. And
Is
no
that
foul.
No referee.
And I'm not sure, this referee definitely is awful, as the attacking player in Daniel, he did jump, but it wasn't a dive. He jumped to get out the way of the defender with that sliding challenge, so that definitely should be a foul. Whether there is contact or not, it definitely is a foul on the player, as the player had to jump out the way to protect himself. So what does the player do in that instance? Does he stay and take the contact for the foul, or try to elude the player by jumping out of the way?
A lot of these calls here being made by the referees definitely not coming out of the referee's handbook, as this seem, I understand that calls are subjected to your choice at the end of the day, but at least
Good flick on there by Billy. And that's what they should be doing, not allowing Catawba to play the ball back. However, we've seen time and time again where Catawba have been given space to take throw-ins and attack USC Aiken. Good try there to have the quick counter-attack by Box. Header one though. And here we see in acres of space by himself is Neil. Ball not sent over to him by Andre. Instead, USC Aiken will try to break on that far side. Throw into USC Aiken. And there we have at least 16 of the 22 players in that little rectangle over there on the far side of the field. The rest of the field is pretty much empty. And the ball is definitely like a magnet to those players. Well done there by Killian to beat his defender. Plays the ball out. Box should whip this ball in, and that's not a good square, and it will go out, but good intention there. USC Aiken seems to be growing in confidence here at the Pacer pit.
I agree with you, Mr. Mays, as they seem to be more positive, putting the ball down and pushing it forward, as this is actually how they started the game, in addition to pressing the ball.
Yeah, and here we see a bunch of white shirts over the half. The goalkeeper does have a long goal kick, but they're giving him the option at first to play the ball short, and that eliminates the center forwards, force him to go long, and then win those headers. That's when you challenge, just like that.
Just like that.
Alejandro will boot that to Missouri. Andre will play it over the top for Box. And they need to just, Sammy needs to go to the goalkeeper. It's just the understanding that's not there for some of these USC Aiken players in what needs to be done and how it needs to be done. It's their decision making that's pretty poor.
I agree. I wonder if that is down to chemistry, as the team is relatively still young.
Missouri will break, plays the ball to Daniel. This looks dangerous. Sammy's on the far side,
Oh, is
and
that a
Sammy is offside. And that was pretty close.
very close call?
That I won't give my personal take on. We see a little bit of appeals there from the bench of USC Aiken. It won't matter, but that one was very close. Could have been given as offside. Could have been allowed to play. The linesman definitely had a better view of it, and I definitely can't contest that call by the linesman as it was very, very close. Killian is under it, wins the header. Well done there
Wonderful
by
challenge there
Andre.
by Andre.
Still Andre. Looks up, plays the ball to Daniel. Daniel will break. Has Neil. Tries to play the ball out to Neil. Good challenge there by the Catawba defender. Catawba will definitely break here. Chips the ball over to the far side, and the ball was tried to be played over. Good pass there by Sammy to Missouri, and he needs to just get out of Missouri's way as Missouri will just be running down that line. And I'm not sure why Sammy is there to escort him, and Sammy goes back into trouble rather than coming out to Andre that was right there to assist him. Ball eventually played out to Box. Box has Killian, plays it inside. Killian looks up, floats the ball over. Billy and Neil are under it. Billy does well to take the ball down, and a beautiful, a little bit overhit, and that one will be going outside.
Intention there.
Good try there by Billy John. Nice control, and the splice square that went into the box was just a little bit over spliced as Sammy wasn't able to get onto it, but Sammy was the closest person to the ball, and if that was hit properly, would definitely have given Sammy an easy shot at goal.
And if you're just joining us, we are just under 29 minutes, and the scoreline is, as read, is 3-0. 3 goals scored by Catawba.
Long goal kick there. Killian is under it again. This time he loses out. And why Ollie didn't head the ball back to the goalkeeper, I don't know. They're taking the skill set of Alejandro. Missouri tries to beat his defender, unable to do so. The Catawba will break on that far side. And
Good call, linesman.
I
Good
know
call.
that Alejandro is pretty good with his feet, but at least give the official at least give Alejandro the advantage or the option to play the ball with his feet. If needs be, he could pick it up with his hand with that header. But we do trust in Alejandro's capabilities.
Maybe a little bit too much trust, if you should ask me.
Yeah, that pass could have been disastrous. Ball coming out to Ollie. Ollie opens up nicely, plays the ball to Billy. Billy controls, plays the ball inside. Ball eventually goes to Daniel. Daniel plays the ball to Andre. And nice play here by USC Aiken. This is what they should have been doing a long time ago. Ball being played out to Billy. Billy touches it, should whip it in now. Does well, and corner kick. And here we see the confidence of USC Aiken building. And I'm not sure why they haven't been doing this all game.
Again, as previously mentioned though, Mr. Mays, the moment USCA starts to express themselves in terms of putting 4 and 5 passes together, they always get fruit. They bear fruit from these plays. So when they try to go long, we have to wonder.
It's just, to me, it's just a lack of confidence. Good, nice square in.
Oh,
And
damn.
Billy was under it. And he wasn't expecting that one, ladies and gentlemen, as the ball ricocheted off his thigh for a goal kick. And there's a lot of fruit to be bared from their labor if they do decide to play their game. But it's just whether or not they'll be consistent, as we've seen them do this the first couple minutes of the game, and then the
Right.
game just switched and they started playing a totally different game. It's just discipline that USC Aiken needs, and that discipline needs to be instilled for them to consistently time in, time out for the full 90 minutes, do what needs to be done and not sway. And that's a foul there by Killian. And the referee took a while to see if there was an advantage. He's quick to blow for the fouls that aren't fouls, but then he delays the fouls that are actually fouls. I'm not sure, but this referee, I'm not sure, but hasn't been doing the best of jobs in my eyes so far. Ball whipped in towards that back post. Ronaldo is under it. And corner kick is the result. No one from Catawba will be in a rush to take this corner kick. What did Eugene just say?
And another header one there. At
Goal
least
kick.
this one was contested.
Alejandro will boot this one to Missouri quickly. Missouri controls it, should play it back to box, and he does so eventually, delaying that play, allowing the defender to get close to box. Here we see in acres of space it says Billy, and there we see the wrong decision being made by Andre. Rather than playing the ball to the wing back, he decided to go long. No foul. Well done there by Billy. Contested by Neil and throw into Catawba. And there we see the throw-in allowed to be taken again back to the defender and then floated to the other side. Too much respect is given to Catawba. This team definitely is not that good. Daniel does well. Still Daniel. Missouri to challenge. Missouri will try to break here. Plays the ball into Andre. Andre should get there, and he doesn't. Beautiful sliding tackle there. And that was appeals come from the bench, but that was an extraordinary challenge on Andre.
That is as good as a goal is.
That was an inch perfectly timed challenge on Andre. Definitely no foul there. That appeal for a penalty kick was shut down immediately by the referee, as there was nothing in it, as that tackle was definitely clean. Missouri to whip this corner kick in. Whips it in, that's in. And Renata gets under it, and over the top of the goal it will go. And it's a goal kick to Catawba. Just over 23 minutes remaining in this game.
Bit of time wasting here being noticed by the goalkeeper of Catawba, Gianluca. Seems to be watching a bit of some English Premier Leagues, as that's exactly what teams do when they're up to 1-3-0. Take this thing out of the game. Why are they appealing? That was all ball. Excellent no call there by the referee.
If the referee isn't careful, he has been given no fouls to them, so it's no wonder they're appealing. Strong challenge there by Killian, but no foul in it, as he got the ball and he didn't go through any players to get it. Wonderful play there by, and the guy just fell, and no call there by the referee again. And that's what that's what happens when you give soft fouls or no fouls to opponents, and the ball is just trying to be switched over to Missouri too quickly, and the pass isn't getting there. Well done there by Box. Ball, Daniel will break, still Daniel. And they're in too much of a rush. They just need to settle down. That's all that needs to be done. If you just relax and allow the game to come to you, you won't have any issues. Chasing the game isn't the easiest thing to do, and especially when you're at a height disadvantage. Missouri does well. Will he keep it in play? He does. He should skip by his defender. He does. Should he skip by him as well? He does. And he's just in overdrive, driving past all the defenders.
Wonderful tackle there by the defender of Catawba.
They need to be careful. They might just mistime one of those challenges, but that was a wonderful time tackle. And we saw where nice ball was whipped in by Missouri earlier. Will he be able to replicate? Time will tell.
Ball whipped in near, oh, and
Ball
that's
flicked
flick.
on,
Oh,
and the goalkeeper will have it in his grasp. Here we have the player on the far side by himself. I'm not sure why the goalkeeper doesn't give the ball to him, as he has acres to exploit, forcing them long. Boots it. Ronaldo wins it. Andre is under it, and then he falls to the floor. Catawba will break. Doing well to possess the ball on that far side, Catawba. And he's trying to spin in and out of challenges. Here we see the ball floated out to the far side. Ball whipped in. Alejandro should come. He does wonderfully well.
Oh, that's the offside? Oh,
And it is offside, as he did attempt to play the ball with that flick on.
Goal kick taken short to Ollie. As Ollie look up line. Should play this one to Billy.
No.
As he went inside and played it to Daniel. Daniel switches it to Killian. Wonderful flick on there by Jordan.
Missouri needs to stop that flick. I'm not sure where he got it from, but I've seen where he has done it several times, and that's probably the first time I've seen where it actually sort of worked.
Seems to be a very determined man.
He's adamant that he's going to get it right, but if you see something not working, it's only a easy thought process to decide not to do it anymore and change the way of play. As some individuals are very good, and that should be a foul throw.
I guess it did not come onto the field.
Missouri
Throwing.
wins a throw-in,
Oh, goal keep.
and the linesman signaled for a throw-in to USC Aiken, but given the other way. Ronaldo does well, still turning, plays it back to Alejandro,
Oh, that should be a foul there off the ball.
and what
Wonderful
what will
spot
the
there by
card
the
be?
linesman.
And a yellow card there given.
Yellow card showed there by the referee to Borja. A bit of frustration there as he was not able to go around Ronaldo to win that ball.
Alejandro seems to want to go long rather than play the ball to Ollie. And no foul call there. Daniel is under it. Well done there by Daniel. Killian should get the ball. It goes instead to Andre. Not a bad option. That's all. Just possess the ball here a little. Give it to Killian. Look out. Spread it to box. And he drives instead. Needs to reset again. And there we see the back pass. Ball whipped in. Nobody is in there. And
nobody in the penalty box.
they're blaming Billy, but Billy is actually, and good try there by Andre. Ollie does well, but overhit. And I'm not sure why their touches are failing them so much, as all they need to do is go ahead and take slight touches off the ball, and I'm sure that several changes here being made by Catawba, none being made by USC Aiken so far.
USC, I would think they would need some form of fresh legs.
And again, USC can allow Catawba to make that throw-in backwards. A free throw-in to spread the ball along the back line. USC Aiken are definitely not using their heads here. Long throw-in here. That's what you need to force them to do. And here we see that back pass again by Ollie. very hard towards Alejandro, but he's very comfortable. Sammy's miscontrol going to Andre. And that was an easy nutmeg. Just roll the ball through the guy's legs, as simple as that. He's coming aggressively, and he's coming with his legs wide open. All it takes is a gentle touch, and he will be disgraced. And he definitely won't come in as hard the second time.
Goalkeeper there showing a bit of experience as he looks to take this thing out of the game once more.
USC Aiken are definitely building a little, but they still haven't gotten to where they want to be. Killian wins the second ball, plays it over. Sammy does well.
Offside there being signaled by a referee.
And that can't be offside, as the number 18 was there by himself around the back. That must be a free kick.
Seems to be the coach of Catawba appealed, convinced the linesman.
Well, if it's one thing I don't do, it's have faith in any of these officials that are currently on this park. Ollie shouldn't have made that bounce. Billy. Just play the ball back, and a bad pass there, and another bad pass. It's bad passes all around now for USC Aiken. And one should ask, where is the confidence that this USC Aiken team should have? They're totally much better or more skillful of a team than Catawba is, but one would not be able to tell just by viewing this game. One would think that Catawba is the better team. It's just lack of consistency here by USC Aiken. There we see
Not a bad pass there by USC Aiken.
USC Aiken just is not switched on. Wonderful turn there by the number 7 as he skipped by 2 players. Well done there by Sammy, a little overhit though. There's no close touches for the USC Aiken Pacers, as all their balls are just, their controls are going away from them. Killian again in the middle of the park winning the first header, but this time it goes out for a throw into Catawba.
Ball booted
This
up.
one booted. Billy should just head this one back to his goalkeeper, and he does so. Ollie's there, just give the ball to Ollie and allow him to turn. I'm not sure why. Just go to goal. Well done there by Killian. And force them to do that all day. Just control it. Just control the ball and then start again. Force them to defend, and this is what happens. And Ollie just needs to step in and escort the ball in his path. I'm not sure why he's booting the ball so far away from him. And we need to see the USC Aiken team grow in confidence and learn that the ball will be, or will do exactly what you want it to do. Missouri does well, but he won't be able to elude his defenders. And that's offside. The flag should go up if Neil is supposed to go on to it, but the linesman keeps his flag down as the ball goes back to the goalkeeper. Ball floated over. Billy is under it and allows the player to just come and head the ball. I'm not sure. There's no authority, no conviction by the USC Aiken players. Playing very slight. One would think that the USC Aiken players think this is a game of pickup. And there's nothing on the line. That number 6 for Catawba knows nothing about playing. He seems to be a player that should be playing rugby. The only thing you will need to do is put this ball on the floor, dribble at him, force him to make a decision, and then put the ball in the other path. And I'm sure you'll be going by him with ease. And there we see Ronaldo taking responsibility. That's exactly what you need to do. Just play the ball in your path. As a defender, that's what defenders do.
Substitution here being made by USCA. We see Neil coming off and Adam going on.
Andre has it, does well. Plays it to Adam. Adam gets it back. And he just needs to play the ball with his right leg and not his left. Keep your body in between the player and the ball. He can't touch it despite Adam's physique being smaller. He just needs the wonderful control there. And the pass there back to Andre is horrendous. Adam tries to cut inside, gives the ball away. Ronaldo would be there to intercept. Box will play the ball to Missouri. Missouri, still Missouri. And Missouri himself seems to be a little bit off, as I'd bet my money on Missouri just running by the defender. Instead, he hesitated with his decision making and lost out. No foul there. And there we see the referee's whistle finally not being blown for that challenge on by Killian. Number 7 has the ball. Ollie won't allow him to turn. Well done by Ollie. And there you go. Put the ball between, and these players just need to learn to put their body between the ball and the player.
Exactly.
There's no way for him to touch that ball unless he goes through you, which will be a foul. Well done there by Ollie. That's all it takes, a little bit of authority to be taken and stamping of your class. And that definitely is a throw into Catawba. And the referee gave the ball to...
Why it seems like Daniel always is falling? And time is going against USCA here, as we are just under 9 minutes.
Well done there by Andre. The shot, will it challenge the goalkeeper? It will not.
Just falls on top of the net.
Killian, this time losing out, not able to win the header.
Play there being broken up by Killian.
And here we see, I'm not sure why, but one would think that supporters might be leaving the stands. They're still here watching. It's been a much better performance here by USC Aiken in the second half.
Not a disappointing ball there.
And I think fatigue is now set in.
I agree with you.
It's more mental than physical, as I'm sure these players, they're young, they're fit. And the game hasn't been very high intense.
Wonderful weather as well.
And it definitely isn't hot, it's not cold. Sammy does well to take that ball down, looks up, cuts back. Still Sammy on the ball, plays it back to Box. Box with overhit there. Sammy does well again to turn in the middle of the park. Daniel has it, needs to play the ball to Billy, plays it instead to Andre, back to, and the ball almost escaped through. And wonderful play there. And Billy with that slight, I'm not sure if he was trying to be aggressive there. He definitely was not, as he should have followed through on that ball instead. Not to hurt the player, but at least to have your presence being felt. That was such a slight tackle. My little niece would be able to follow through the ball more aggressively.
That's being very polite there, Mr. Mays, don't you
Very,
think?
very polite. And there we see another example of the lack of conviction here by the USC Aiken Pacers.
And again, too much time there being afforded to Catawba. Come on.
Too much respect being shown. Without the set plays, as you can see, Catawba has nothing to offer. And USC Aiken just needed to realize a little bit earlier and play this type of ball game. The game would have come to them rather than them chasing the game. And there we see Andre and Box not being on the same wavelength. These players don't understand each other fully, as I'm seeing here today by their display. Maybe it's just that they're tired and fatigued, but they aren't on the same wavelength. They aren't playing together as a team, and if and when they do start playing as a team, they will be a force to be reckoned with. They'll definitely be a stronger challenge to opponents. It's just finding that chemistry, Mr. Stone.
Yes,
Once it's found, the talent is definitely there within the team, as we see those sparks, but those sparks aren't being manifested into anything much, as they're pretty much swept under the rug by a bad pass or a miscontrol. Ball whipped in, this time by Ollie. To clear, ball played back in, and Alejandro is under it. So is Billy. Billy will play the ball out to Adam. And there we see another example of the control. The ball just flying away from the player. Just control the ball and wait for the pass.
To be honest with you, Mr. Mays, we cannot blame chemistry to a full extent, as individual poor displays also. And a run through here with Jordan. Jordan should take it one-on-one. And Jordan should finish this one. Wonderful. Oh, that is a weak shot there by Jordan. And again, we could say fatigue, Mr. Mays. What do you think?
That's selfishness at its best. Sammy should have been barking at Missouri to pass that ball inside to him. 2v1. There's no way that the goalkeeper should have any chance at getting to that ball. That should have been written as a goal. Missouri choosing to go on his weaker left leg rather than to use his teammate and use his advantage. I'm sure if that was practice, the ball would have been played inside to Sammy. Instead, he elected to go alone. There is that striker's instinct where selfishness is needed, but in that case, the simple tapping is all that's needed there for Sammy to just tuck that ball in.
Mr. Mays, it looks wonderful when you do all that hard work and then finish it at the end of the play. But
handball there by Sammy. When you do finish, it's very pretty. And a handball there not called against Sammy. He definitely handled the ball. He might think he was playing basketball for a second. The referee not seeing it. So we've seen where a few calls have not been called for Catawba as well in this second half. But you're right, Mr. Stone. When you do that and you put the ball in the back of the net, then you can say, coach, the ball is in the back of the net. When you do miss, it's the look of it, it's awful, and they still allow the goalkeeper to waste a lot of time there. It's like they're not realizing that he's just going to control the ball.
And
they're
turn
winning.
Around, he's going to put the ball down. Go to the ball.
And I'm not sure what these players think.
Again, he waits until he puts the ball down.
Go to class.
A lot of inexperience here being shown by the players of the USC. Something as simple as that, which has been done a trillion times since in the second half, as the goalkeeper has been afforded to waste at least 5 minutes.
And that's just not being switched on, not using or using your head to outsmart your opponents. It's better to go to where you know the ball, what he'll do, or go into position and rest, than having to ollies under it, turns his back to
Turns
it,
his
balls
back.
goes
He
to Adam.
gets lucky there.
Adam back to Billy. Billy over to Sammy. And Sammy has been doing well on the ball. It's off the ball that his decisions has not been the best. Just over a minute remaining here. It will be Catawba that will have this victory here at the Pacer Pit, as there's no way for USC Aiken to score 3 goals within a minute and a half.
Definitely not the way they've been playing.
They're not hungry, it seems. It seems as if they're just
Is
going
there
through the
consolation
motion.
here? Oh no. Play being broken up by Catawba. As Ronaldo should deal with this very comfortably.
And this is what USC Aiken should have been doing a long time ago. Getting the ball to Missouri. Missouri should just run down the line, and he still elects to come inside. He's going into trouble when he comes inside. Do what you're supposed to do, get to the line, and then play the ball across the face of the goal, and your teammate then demand that your teammates be there. And those are golden opportunities for USC Aiken to get a few goals. And there we see Adam rushing to play the ball. That defender, that number 7, if he had won the ball from him, he would have definitely been offside. It's just being aware of your surroundings and knowing what to do. Add control the ball and allow him to take it, take the free kick, as he came from an offside position.
As we approach the end of the game, viewers, we appreciate you watching, and for the viewers of the Catawba, wonderful victory, and for the viewers of the USCA, better luck next time.
Yeah, here at full time, it's not a victory for USC Aiken, but it definitely, the team is a work in progress. There's a lot to be taken away from this game, and we do want to congratulate Catawba on their victory. They came to play their game, and they did. They were victorious. Congratulations to Catawba. And USC Aiken, it's back to the drawing board to start again, to try and come out and have a few victories. And until next time, we're signing out here at the Pacer Pit. So goodbye for now from myself and Mr. Stone.
Yes, sir.
And we will see you again next time.
Bye-bye.